Let's watch a preview from the CBS Schoolbreak special, A Matter of Conscience.
Have a seat. Please.
No, thank you. I just want to ask you a question, then I'll leave. I want to know why you're making up all these terrible things about my grandfather. Why you're calling him a Nazi.
Because it's true.
I know what you went through must have been terrible, and I'm sorry about it. But it's no reason to blame an innocent person.
You cannot know, Kevin, what we all went through. And for this, you should be grateful every day of your life.
My grandfather is not the man you say he is.
I promise you, Kevin, I have not invented this story to cause trouble to you and your family. Your grandfather was a soldier in the SS.
It's not true. He was never in the army.
The SS was not the army. They were a special kind of soldier. The most eager, the most zealous. They swore complete loyalty to Hitler and his ideals.
You don't know what you're talking about. How can you say these things about a man you don't know? You never even seen him until Susan's wedding.
But I had seen Josef Hauptmann sitting at a long wooden table, collecting all our documents as we stumbled off the trains at Treblinka. I remember him marching up and down that platform, his ledger tucked under his arm.
Marching?
Yes, marching.
Now I know you're wrong. My grandfather fell out of a tree when he was a kid. He's walked with a limp ever since.
Is this what he says?
That's what happened.
I will tell you how Josef Hauptmann got his limp. We had been loading paving stones onto a wagon. It was an icy morning. As the wagon pulled out, he slipped on the ice. He fell beneath the wheels. His leg was badly crushed. We all saw this. Listen to me, Kevin. I sometimes wonder why I was allowed to live when so many others had to die. I ask myself, is there something I could have done to help them? The answer is no. I had no choice then. But there is something I can do now, something I must do. Because justice is justice, even if it is 40 years late. It is a matter of conscience.
You can't prove any of this.
Your grandfather's immigration papers will have his true name. Ask him to show them to you.
There's no humus in this mix.
Sorry, guess I forgot.
But we always add humus to the planter mix.
I said I'm sorry.
Ah, no. I'll get it later.
Grandpa, listen. I've been thinking, we've got to prove to this Mr. Abrams who you are.
And how should we do that?
You can show him your immigration papers. That ought to satisfy him.
Yeah. Maybe. Only I don't have the papers.
You don't? Why not?
I haven't seen them in years. I lost them. Probably when we moved from the Linwood Street house. But I'm a citizen now. I don't need those papers anymore.
But what if Mr. Abrams reports you? To the government, maybe.
I cannot control what others may do.
Where have you been? I thought you were upstairs. I hope you don't mind we've started without you. Your dinner's on the stove.
Grandpa, I did what you suggested. I asked Lisa about her grandmother. She was in the concentration camp. Her whole family died there.
Kevin, let's talk about it later.
It was called an extermination camp because that's where the Nazis sent the Jews to be exterminated, like rats and roaches. Because Hitler didn't even consider them human beings.
Kevin, stop it.
You are Joseph Hauptmann, just like Abrams said. So tell us the truth. Was he right about all the rest too?
Stop it!
Tell us! You were a Nazi. You knew what was going on. I believed in you. I stood up for you. You lied to me. I told him my grandfather couldn't do that, not my grandfather. How could you?
Kevin, please.
Mom, you lied to us. You've been lying to everybody for years. It's all true, isn't it?
How do you expect me to talk to you about what is true? You're 16 years old. Born in a country where you've never known anything but comfort and protection. You've never known a hint of what war can do. You've never had to make a decision more important than how short to cut your hair or what to wear on a Saturday night. I was 10 years old when Hitler came to power in Germany. My earliest memory was being told that the Jews were evil and they were the enemy of my country. I was your age when the war began. I was told that our country was in a great struggle for survival, and I believed it. When I was told that we were winning the war and that our cause was great, I believed it. I believed it because no one told me it was not true. No one. So, yeah, when I was old enough, I joined the SS because I wanted to help save my country. Kevin, listen to me. You must understand one thing. I never carried a gun. I never killed anyone. I only processed papers.
can't stay here. I'm going to Danny's. I gotta sort this out.
Kevin, don't.
How can you stay, Mom?
He's my father. He needs us.
If he needed us so much, then why didn't he ever tell us the truth? Didn't you know? Didn't you ever ask questions?
I guess I just didn't want to know.
Excuse me, please.
What concentration camp was he at?
I've been hired by Mrs. Lacey to represent her father, and I have a short statement to make. Joe Miller acknowledges that he was born Joseph Hauptmann in Munich, Germany. And we have no further comment at this time.
But
Is it true that he was a member of the SS?
True. So what's going to happen to him now?
He could be deported to Germany.
They wouldn't do that to him. He's too old.
My dad says that since he lied about his identity, that's all they need to send him back.
Well, I think they should just leave him alone. I mean, what he did was a long time ago.
Danny, what Joe did was a horrible crime.
But there was a war. He was a soldier. Maybe he was just following orders.
The Nazis were systematically killing people. Anyone who was there and had anything to do with it was part of the crime.
He says he never killed anyone.
Does it really matter? Kevin, I know how much you love him, and I know how much you want to believe him. But Hitler murdered over 11 million people, and he didn't do it alone. Other people helped him. The ones who participated, and the ones who stood by and let it happen. Your grandfather helped him too. Even if he never carried a gun.
The rooms are small, Karen. I'm afraid it's really too cramped.
All right, I have another one over on Beach Street that's larger.
I don't know. I'm not much in the mood to look. Let's just go.
Marion, I didn't know. I honestly didn't know about my father. If I did, do you think I could have ever looked you in the eye?
I believe you.
Whatever he did is in the past. He's not a cruel man.
Look, Karen, I don't want to hurt you. We're friends. I know what you've been going through.
No, you don't. People I've known for years look at me with disgust or pity. I'm not sure which is worse. We're dying of the shame.
There are worse things to die from. I'm sorry. Just came out. Karen, I love you. We will always be friends. But I've got to say something. Your father's past can't ever be erased. There are people who still live with that past every day of their lives.
You're right. These rooms really are too small.
What's going on? What's going on today? Have you heard about Kevin Lacey?
His grandfather was a Nazi.
Wow, there he is now.
Just ignore them.
Lacey! Sigal!
Yeah, get him, man.
Hey, break it up! Break it up! Come on, cut it out!
Yeah,
Get off! What's with you? He started it! No, man, you did! You did! What's the matter, Lacey? You just naturally like to fight? Maybe you're just like your Nazi grandfather.
Come on. Let's go.
You told him, man.
called hate mail. Next time, don't even bother opening it. Just throw it out with the rest of them.
Well, who's sending it?
Could be anybody.
Mom, what are you doing home? I just stopped by the office. They said you left early today.
I can't get my work done with reporters following me wherever I go, so the boss suggested I take a few days off.
Well, where's Grandpa?
In his room. He hasn't left the house since this all started.
Well, what about the nursery?
It's closed. He doesn't want to go there. You know, he's lost almost all his customers.
What's gonna happen, Mom? I mean, about Grandpa.
Well, first, there will be a hearing to revoke his citizenship, and then a deportation hearing.
Does that mean I'll send them back to Germany?
Well, the lawyer says he can appeal, do all those legal things, and then maybe put it off for a couple of years.
We didn't do anything to deserve this, Mom. Look, don't worry about the nursery, all right? I'll take care of the plants. I'll take care of everything.
Here. I've been looking for you everywhere.
I'm sorry. I've got a lot of work to do.
Kevin, it's not fair that this is happening to you. You shouldn't have to suffer for what your grandfather did. I'll help you. Okay?
No, thanks. It's all right. I can take care of it.
Kevin. I'll help you.
The Germans invaded Poland, and soon our village was occupied by soldiers. They singled out the Jews right away, and we were made to wear an armband. It had a star on it, a yellow star. We wore it like a badge, proudly. Then my father was forced to close his bakery shop, and soon we were not allowed to buy food. And the only food that we actually had was what friends bought us and what we found in the garbage. It was really like the Germans wanted to starve us to death. And then one by one, our people began to disappear, right? Well, nobody knew where they went. And then one day they came to our house, the soldiers, and they told us that they were going to take us to a work camp and that there would be plenty to eat. And they took us down to the station and they crowded us into a freight train. A day later, we arrived at a camp called Auschwitz in Poland. There were soldiers there meeting us at the train with dogs. I was only 16. But they immediately separated the men from the women, and I could see my father and my brother march away. I remember I waved to them. See, I didn't know that it was the last time that I would wave to them. My mother was ill, so that I was holding on to my little sister. She was only 6 years old, and one of the soldiers came up and they asked me what was my occupation, and my mother answered, and she said that I was a very excellent seamstress. So they yanked my sister from my arms, and they made me stand in another line, right? And then they marched me to something that was called the sorting place. I mean, you wouldn't believe your eyes. There were piles of clothes every place, and shoes, objects, hair. Other prisoners were sorting them out and mending them. So I was put to work right away, and there was a woman standing next to me. She was very nice. Well, I asked her what had happened to my family. And she said she thought they were dead already. I didn't believe it. I mean, my father and my brother, they were strong, they could work, right? And my sister and my mother, why would anybody kill them? But a couple of days later, I knew. Because as I was sorting the clothes, I found my sister's dress. I knew it was hers because I had made it myself. Then I knew they had decided that they had the right to kill us. And then there were just more trains and more people. More clothes.
No, Mom. Okay. Okay. That was my mom on the phone. She's taking my grandfather to the airport. He's leaving the country. He's going back to Germany.
He's just leaving without a fight? Why?
I think it's because he doesn't want the deportation hearing to bring out what really happened. I don't know. She wants me to come say goodbye to him.